What's going on? Back at it, episode 50. We are here. We are in this beautiful, beautiful studio / office. I know, it looks good. It's amazing what little lighting can do. Episode 50, I'm super excited. How did I even get this far? How did we even get this far? You guys have all been super supportive and awesome. The feedback, oh my God. You guys make it just so much fun for me. But before we talk about how much fun I'm having and looking back at 50 episodes and looking forward to the next 50, listen to me now. We had a caption contest. We had a caption contest over this week. So I said that I would give the person who won and who captioned this picture right here the best. So, without further ado, I will release the name of the person who deserves this first place and a shout out on the podcast. Drum roll, please. And the winner is Sean Morris with the official face of 2020 caption. Sean Morris had me laughing. I would have to agree that is definitely the official face of 2020 because it has been a real shit sandwich. But we made we made do with it, So it was funny, but it was also, she's a hustler. I mean, you want to talk about somebody who really pushes herself and who really kind of embodies strength. Sean Morris is that person. So Sean, I met Sean a long time ago, and Sean and I train together. I train her here. She's also run a couple of Zumba classes here for us, and she's big in the Zumba community. It's her thing. It's her favorite thing to do is dance and exercise the night away. So when I tell you something, go check out her class. It'd be super fun. She does online ones, and then she also does in-person ones. And I believe I'm going to mess up the place, so I'm not going to say the place, but I probably, I think she was doing it in a couple spots. But anyway, Sean is an amazing person. She makes me laugh. She's hardworking. Those are my two favorite things. Hardworking and makes me laugh. Shit, you're in. So Sean, thank you. That shit's hilarious. You are the best. Moving on. I know, I'm in a good mood. I just deadlifted with the newbie, with the new guy. Justin Collins. I've known him since he was a wee lad. Not that much. I think we're the same age. It's just weird. I always think like I'm older than people, but I'm not, but I just feel it. I feel like I'm like a zillion years older. But he's our new guy, the new trainer. He's going to be working his muscles. We're going to get him pack on a little bit of that muscle. I think we're talking 20 pounds we're going to do. I mean, he's going to do it too. He's done something similar with me in the past. It's just good to see him in here. Phenomenal mechanic. I mean, that kid is a wizard, with mechanic. But I mean, he said something to me. I wanted to do it. I want to keep my hobbies, and I want to keep something I'm passionate about. And if I could do that for work or do that, to make some sort of money, that'd be great. And so here he is. So he, we gave him a shot. He's a loyal young man. He's a hardworking young man. Once again, I'll take hardworking, loyal, and funny. It's even better. So look out for him. He's gonna be here. He'll be our morning guy, so it'd be even better. But looking back, it has been 50 episodes. I remember a couple of our first little go-arounds, me and Jen, hitting this up, and it being more scripted. And I think that, it being more scripted and it being more, just kind of something we were forcing. And now to see it kind of morph into this, just listening to Ben talk, because he's a crazy person pretty much. And, now when we very first started the podcast was about, just kind of promoting business and just kind of letting people in on our lives, myself and Jen. And Jen's, helped out so much. And it's been great. It's been super great. And having everybody here watching them grow has been something. It's just the podcast doesn't really line up right now, with her. But, we get her back when we can, jam out when we want to talk about what calorie is worth it. She's been killing it on the nutritional front and helping so many people lose weight, feel better about themselves, and better understand food and exercise. So she's good in my book. And so with that being said, looking back on a podcast that I think in the past, probably about 15 episodes, we've been really able to kind of hit our stride and really kind of find out what I wanted this all to be, which was just doing it for myself and my company that I've worked so hard for, and acknowledging the people that along the way. You're going to see a lot of that. And those of you who have gone back, and thank you for the likes, thank you for the comments, thank you for the interactions. I've had so many great conversations, and I need stimulating conversations. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot sit there and have the same conversation with somebody over and over and over again. It's like we get so wrapped up in our lives that like we have these like conversations, like this is the conversation you're going to have. Like these are the ones. And I can't do that. I get so bored so quickly. And despite me doing something as a career for such a long time, I haven't gotten bored with it. And I think it's because I just really overall enjoy, personal training, which is great. But it's more about like the interactions with people and just kind of like having a good time, torturing them and making them lift heavy weights until, they cry. Some cry. That's okay. Sweat, that type of thing. It's not tears, man. It's sweat. It's like, yeah, sure. I believe you. So it's about just committing yourself to something. And what I've seen over these past 50 episodes have been just the evolution of coming something else. And we're making funny videos. Watch out for those. We're making, we're going to be interviewing other companies. Watch out for those. We're going to be taking requests. Watch out for those. We're going to be watching, funny videos and reacting to them. Watch out for those. It's like we have so many things planned for these next, 6 months on our calendars. And I'm just really excited. I'm just very excited. Looking back, I've kind of seen where it's going to go, and it's made it so that now we can look forward. And I think that's huge with just life, just with everybody. I have had some of the best interactions and conversations with people over these simple, or maybe not so simple subjects that I've talked about discipline or motivation or love or advice or you name it. It's like failure. We've had such great conversations, and I've been able to kind of talk them out in my head and how it's maybe affected me, and I've realized that it's affected a lot of people. Despite that I don't have a whole lot in common with a lot of people, I find that the conversation, I can always learn something from somebody, especially if you're a good listener, if you are willing to listen to them and respond to something they're actually saying. That's the big one. And I think that takes time. I think you can't just do it. You have to really listen. And I have had a listening problem in the past because I just steamroll over everything. I got shit to do. I got things I need to do. And it's like, that's all good and fun. But you also can take some time to listen to somebody too. And what I've noticed now, after kind of morphing and changing and listening and learning and taking, some people who I hold dear opinions and mentors, man, you can really create something. If you guys just take the time, or we take the time, you can create something. And you can create something that it's so effortless for you to deliver it. Like it's so effortless for you to just deliver it and not expect things back because you just love what you do. Like, I know this isn't for everybody. Just some weirdo talking to a camera, talking to a bunch of, people. And for some people, they'll hate it. But you're not doing it for them, are you? Because remember, those people don't even like themselves. I mean, not to say that not everybody who doesn't like you doesn't like themselves, but chances are somebody who's going to lash out and say something ridiculously shitty about you, chances are that person's not really feeling all the best about themselves. So, like I said, I mean, watching, this is effortless for me. This whole thing. Just enjoying getting thoughts out of my head, It's just kind of fun, and to see all the projects that we have going, for us in the next 50 episodes, it'll be great. So thank you. You guys are all the best. And, we used to feel like you have to always do something. Like, oh, you have to do something and you have to be, great. Well, some people, it's more effortless for them because they've practiced or because they've done something. I have 50 experiences as of right now with some of the episodes where we've kind of learned from what we've done, and now it's become something much more. So I was thinking about where I was just 5 years ago in my career, and I was thinking about it. I was talking to this young girl, Taylor, and I was talking to her about it too. And, she said, I'm going to start writing down the good days too. And I really thought about that. Looking back at not only the bad days, but looking back at the good days, that's huge. Like, so 5 years ago, I recorded a video, and it was right after I got out of my lawyer's office, who's a good friend and mentor. I got out of the office, and I just signed away to I believe, no, it was a couple of years ago. Yeah, I just talked to him about what I needed to do to move forward. And it was such a big step for me because I just, you get the finances together, you get everything together, you get all your stuff together. And then fast forward a year and a half later, 2 years later, after, getting to where I needed to be to create what I needed and to do what I needed, I made another video. So instead of always, which a lot of us do, we mark these terrible days. Why not mark the good days too? And not in a braggy way, in a way to remember. So you remember that feeling. So you know how your iPhone puts together these little videos for you. So it was a couple months ago, and I got my video kind of came up, and I'm in my car. It's like a dark video, and I just put, I just signed for, to own my company, and it's a huge deal for me. It's a huge deal for myself. It would be a huge deal for all the people who said I couldn't do it. It would be a huge deal for all the people who said I could do it. It would be a huge deal for my dad who didn't get to see it. And it would be a huge deal for myself moving forward to now know that I'm worth it, and to now know that I don't have to keep holding myself back. So just that small conversation, with her brought up all of this, like, wow, I do that. I do mark down the good days, but I also do mark down the bad days and why they were bad. So looking back, I had another day where, which I guess is, maybe you guys can kind of sort this out a bit more, and maybe some of you can kind of hit me up and tell me if I'm, right or wrong. I think I'm more on on the balanced side of this, but I had an awful day. It was like 2 weeks ago, and I was just spent. It was right after actually I recorded a podcast. I was supposed to record it, and I got up out of my chair, and I was like, I am effing I'm out. And I took these, I put them down, and I was just like, I'm done. I just can't do this right now. I walked out. I left like the lights on outside or inside, and I just was done. And I felt like nothing went right that day. I felt like every person I interacted with was complaining about something, and it was just irking me. And the thought when I got in my head, I went home, I sat down, at the end of my bed on the floor. Got these 2 little cats, kind of sensing something's wrong with me. Like, why are you on the floor, bro? So I had, my 2 cats going like, yo, what you do? But I sat there, and instead of going out and like going to get a drink or like, flipping out and, letting everything just build up, I thought about how this bad day and how I was going to react to it while it was happening. Like it just slowly started to creep in. And then I went, oh, I'm mad for a different reason. See, you have an option. You can get mad that it got really tough and really hard, and you kind of let the day get to you. But what I did, or at least I think I did, and you guys can tell me if this is kind of something that you would do, I got mad because I knew that I could take it. I got mad because I took it, and I know that tomorrow it'll be done, and I'll move on quickly. But let's just let this affect me right now. Like I wasn't going to try to drag it over into the next day and the next day and then make it just a giant shit sandwich. I mean, it's true. So hopefully with writing down the good times and the bad times, and really, I mean, I videoed them, and I've like written stuff down in a journal too. Seriously, looking back, holy crap, you'd be amazed at how many things I have in there. I really took the time over yesterday and the day before to really kind of assess what the hell was actually going on. Like what did I do to get here, good and bad? I read the good ones and I read the bad ones, and saw some good videos, and I've seen some times where I was just extremely frustrated, but kind of kept going and didn't let it spill over until the next day, into the next day. So I'm hoping, or I know, that if you are like me, or if you are trying to push through tough times, or if you are trying to create something or do something, write down the good and the bad. Video it. Video the feeling. Talk about what happened. So then that way you can quickly identify where that comes from. Because it's going to come from somewhere. It's going to come, and sometimes you don't know. I'll be honest. Like sometimes I'm like, why am I feeling this way? I mean, how many times have we all done that? But now I can go, oh, I feel this way because of that. That's crazy. Or I feel good about it because of this. And it really, really does help. So I think journaling or videoing or, just taking, good mental notes day to day can really help you out into looking back on why you were successful or why you failed. There's also that too. How many times that we've done a podcast or done something that failed? You guys didn't see all the failed ones, but I have them saved, and I've seen them, and I've seen why we failed. Not a ton, but enough to be like, oh, all right, hey, this isn't going to work, or hey, this, just came out bad, or hey, you seem, like the other day where I just walk out, shut everything down, and leave. So it's like we have a problem, but people have a problem with showing people the more uglier sides of things. And I think it has to do with they want to create this perfect persona for their life. And this just doesn't exist. So we got to make sure you write down those good and bad times, or at least acknowledge them. So now, looking forward, or things that we can look forward to, are, like I said, we have a hell of an organized type, content for everybody for the next, at least, I would say about, 4 to 6 months. We have quite a bit of content for all of you. And I'm very, very excited to show everybody. Got some silly stuff, some funny stuff, where we're just riffing. We got some, like I said, we're going to be talking to companies, talking to businesses. If anybody knows of anybody who wants to come on a podcast and talk about their company, talk about their business, talk about certain things that they want to do with their life, or ways that they're trying to be more passionate, let's do it. I'm down. I know that we have a couple kind of booked out for right now. And, the other one, which I thought was, wait, I'll have to wait till I release the other video. It's going to be a good time. But the future, you kind of got to see it kind of building in advance in order to kind of know, because if you know where you've been, looking back at these next 50 episodes, I'm excited for the next 50 episodes because they're going to be that much better. So, seriously, I'm just excited to be at this 5-0 mark. I'm excited about everything that's been going on. I'm excited about, hopefully putting, the face of 2020 right here behind us. So, listen, thank you all so much. Make sure you hit like, share, subscribe. Por favor, please. And, so it helps us kind of show that we're going on that right path with giving a lot of those people and showcasing, and people can see what we do. And if they like it, they like it. So, listen, I'm out of here, and I will see you all for the next 50 episodes. Yeah, I called it out for 50. I'm out of here. Later.
Live Sculpted.